In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use the Daemon Photoshop action to create a spectacular fire and smoke effect around the subject of an image. As you can see, the subject is partially made of black smoke. It is covered in fumes, it's covered in flames, it has some black smoke behind it, and it is floating because of the shadow on a surface. The effect itself is produced from a single image, which is this one, and this image, based on the subject which we mark in a separate layer called brush, this image is transformed by the action into this result. So, in order to generate this effect, let's go to the original image. So we have the image on a background layer. The image is around 2000 pixels in height and 3000 on the width. The image is on RGB mode on 8 bits per channel. Remember to have your image on RGB mode with 8 bits per channel because this is important for the action to run. And also have it on an appropriate size. Don't make it too small or maybe way too big. Around 2000, 3000 pixels in width or height is appropriate for the action. So first we will have to load the action into Photoshop. So from the actions panel, you should see the actions panel. It should be toggled on from the window actions. We will click on this little button, select load actions, select the Daemon PS action, click on load, and now we have the Daemon action loaded. It actually contains two actions, the Daemon action and an action to generate the color presets. I have created this action separate from the main action because you can use the generate color presets on whatever photo you may like. You don't have to run the Daemon action before it. So this may come useful for lots of photos because there are 12 color presets inside it. Okay, before running the action, we will also have to load the brushes required by the action. These are the brushes that are responsible for all these effects: the smoke, the fire, the fumes, the sparks. Okay, so we will go to the brush tool, click here and click on this little button and load brushes. select the Daemon brushes, click on load. Okay, and now we have the brushes loaded. The next step is to define on our image which is the subject. We will have to create a new layer and call this layer brush with capital B. Notice the capital B. This is important for the action. It seeks the layer called brush with capital B. Okay, and on this layer we will have to mark our subject. There are two main methods of doing this. You can either use a soft brush, actually a hard brush from Photoshop, small enough, and on this layer, let's say with a white color, you can mark your subject entirely. This is a method more useful if you have an image where the subject is placed over a background which is very filled with different contents. So this is the number one method. The second method, which we will use here, is different and much simpler. I will select everything in the canvas and delete this white area I painted. And what will I do? I will select the background layer, and as you can see, the entire background is made of a single color in this image. So I will select using the magic wand tool with a tolerance of, let's say, 8. I will select the background, and notice it has selected everything except the subject on the background layer which is selected. I will also select the space between the legs. Oops, too much. Maybe 2. Okay. So now I have selected everything except the subject. I will go to select inverse, and now we have the subject selected. And on the brush layer, I'll go to the paint bucket tool, click, and now we have marked our subject. Okay. There is a small area here which has some odd pixels, but it should run okay on the action. Okay. And the last step, this is actually more of a recommendation before running the action, would be to increase the canvas size of the image to, let's say, 200%. Okay, so now this is the document. Why am I doing this? Because the action will generate some fire effects, and if your subject is the same size as your entire document, the fire effects will come out of the canvas and will not be visible, and we want them to be, of course, visible. So now we can run the action. With the Daemon action selected, I'm gonna click on play, and the action is working. Okay, it is generating the effects. Okay, and now we have the results. As you see, the subject is initially hidden. It is not visible. Uh, First of all, in this case, I'm gonna select the main folder which the action created, the Daemon Photoshop action folder, or group as it is also called. And I'm gonna disable auto select, and I'm gonna move it a bit higher. Okay, maybe like this. Okay, the action has created multiple layers. I'm gonna show you how to customize them, and as you can see, it has created some layers containing a black mask, and as it says, the layers are named brush mask to reveal subject, or brush mask to reveal dark subject. We're gonna use the brush tool, and the action has already provided a default brush. It is selected. You don't have to select anything else. It is a brush of smoke, and on this brush mask to reveal dark subject, which is selected, using the white color that the action provides by default, and using the default smoke brush that the action gives, we're gonna brush directly over the canvas to reveal some parts of the image. There are a few parts of the subject which are made by the action with black smoke. I'm gonna go to the next layer, to the brush mask to reveal light smoke subject. And on this mask, I'm gonna paint with the same brush some areas which are also made of smoke, but it is in the color of the subject. Okay. These are placed randomly, and you, by brushing on this mask which is totally black, so everything is hidden, by brushing on this mask you reveal these areas. Okay, and now on the final mask, brush mask to reveal subject, we're gonna start revealing entirely the parts of the subject which we want. The face, be a part of the hands, you decide what you want to be visible. Okay, so now we have a result which looks like this. You may further customize your result by brushing directly on the dark subject mask or the light smoke subject. So you may place the smoke elements yourself on the areas you want. So in this case, the dark subject mask contains the elements made of smoke. So it is the subject part made of smoke, and the above mask, which contains this layer, just reveals these parts. So you can also brush here on this mask and brush over here to reveal. Or similarly to hide. You can hide using a black color. Maybe you want to where is it? To hide from here something. Okay. You must know that the action creates unique results. So every time you run the action, a unique result will be generated. You can see that with some examples in the preview. There is an image in totally two different positions for the elements. Okay, there is also, I must tell you about the shadow layer. The shadow layer, you can select it and move it wherever you want. You can change its opacity. Okay, so I just explained you about these layers. There are, of course, more. There is a fire cloud layer, which has a color fill. You can change the color if you want. You can put whatever color you want. Actually, all the layers have color controls. The sparks. There are 3 fire effects you can switch on or off. Right now the fire 3 is visible. You can disable it and only show fire 2 or fire 1. And to tell you a trick, in order to have all the fire effects more visible over the subject, you can move the subject behind the fire effects. This will hide some parts which are beneath the effect, such as the leg, but the fire effects will look much better. So I'm gonna select all these subject layers, and I'm gonna move them somewhere in the back. Let's say over the fumes layer. And now we have something different. Notice how the effect has changed. And I was telling you about the three different fire variations. This is fire 1, this is fire 2, and this is fire 3. Of course you can move a fire element, place it in whatever position you may like. These are the fumes. Of course, they too have a color control, which you can adjust to put something different. I like it more on the black. There are some small sparks to give the effect a greater depth. There is of course the dark smoke. You can also place it wherever you want and provide it with a color of your choice. Okay, so basically this covers most of the action layers. In order to make the effect in its fullest potential, you will have to play with these masks to make the subject be visible in the form which you like. Okay, about the color presets. You can run the color presets action whenever you want. I'm gonna click on play. So the action is generating an setting the 12 color presets. Okay. So in this folder, which is placed on top of all other folders in order for the adjustment layers of the color options to have effect, in this folder you have three main adjustments: the brightness, color tint, and saturation. And of course you have 12 color options located in folders. You will only have to toggle on the folder to create some color effects suited for very diverse kind of works. Okay, so basically this is it. Thank you very much for watching my tutorial.